We have freed the invisible hand of self-interest and applied it to production and prosperity. Right now, any increase in production also increases consumption. The dumps and landfills grow. Resources are becoming increasingly scarce, and there is also the possibility of climatic disaster. There is just one solution. The invisible hand of self-interest must also be used to ensure the ecological survival of the human race. Right now, our capitalistic socialist system attempts to tackle these problems with sweeping socialistic approaches like subsidies and appeals, as well as climate conferences and declarations of intent. This gets us nowhere. It is often cheaper to produce trash instead of creating closed-loop, ecologically designed recycling systems for products from start to finish. There is a lack of economic incentives for the reduction in the use of energy and resources by a factor of 10 through market-based innovation. But as soon as our natural resources have run out, this will change dramatically. However, will it be too late at that point? Nowadays, these valuable resources are simply too cheap, since there are only extraction costs. We do not factor in their value to future generations. To work against this, we have to introduce a tax on the monopoly of the early birth. An immediate introduction of high tax is not necessary. This concerns the long-term alignment of market-based innovation to conserve resources. The announcement of a progressive tax on the monopoly of the early birth over the next 30 years would encourage the technology without whose timely development we will not be able to live in peace and prosperity over the next decades anyhow. This release of social prosperity through the free market economy would otherwise lead to an even faster collapse of our natural ecosystems and resources. A tax on resources would also have to apply in developing countries. The richer countries could introduce a stock market value-added tax as co-financing to be able to offer the unconditional basic income for those in the developing world. An unconditional basic income in the developing world also addresses some of the root problems like overpopulation and radicalization. We thus avoid crises in resources and the environment, and with the introduction of a free market economy, once again stand in harmony with nature and with our planet. Yes, we can. That's what you said, Mr. Obama. We were delighted with your electoral victory. This film calls on you and all the powers of the world. You have promised us a better world. We are striving for a more just world without meaningless wars and without poverty. For a free world without delusions of surveillance and paranoia. For a healthy world that we can proudly pass on to our children. We shouldn't waste any time looking for people to blame for the system's faulty design. We are not looking for culprits. We are looking for solutions for a better world. Mr. Obama, ladies and gentlemen, trust a people who have not forgotten their dreams. 20 years ago, we broke out of a failed system. However, we demonstrated for freedom and received a system of fear. We wanted a democracy and instead got the reign of money. We demanded a free market economy and we got capitalistic socialism in its death throes. We have not forgotten our dream. What we started in 1989 is what we are pursuing now. In 1989, we applied in droves for exit visas from the jail of socialism. We tied white ribbons to our car antennas to show each other that we were many. This created pressure until the walls finally fell. In 2009, you will recognize us by the golden ribbons. And we will once again apply for exit visas. Exit visas from this capitalistic socialism into the golden age of an outright free market economy. We want to travel to a better world with more peace, more freedom, and more prosperity. Let's take the trip together. Let us work together to build this world of a free market economy. Walls must fall once again, this time in the people's minds. The absolute power of money, like every absolute non-democratically controllable power, has led to its own self-destruction. Limiting the power of money sets us on a path of true democracy and freedom for the people. In 2009, even for very rich people, there is no other reasonable alternative. Yes, we can. Convince yourself of our solution. For more details, go to globalchange2009.com.